That makes my job easy. Just applause immediately. I don't even need to say anything, but I will briefly. Hello, everybody, and welcome. Thank you so much for being here tonight. My name is Emily Summer. I am the book buyer here at East City Bookshop, and we are so glad that you're with us. If it's your first time, we are extra appreciative that you found us and that you're here tonight. If you are not already signed up to our e-newsletter, we encourage you to do so you can find out about more fun events like this one. We only send about one newsletter a week, so it's not too much. If you are returning, we are so glad to have you back. And if you are joining us on Zoom, and there are a lot of you on Zoom, we're so glad for you to be here from wherever you're tuning in. So please tell us in the chat where you're watching from. We always love to hear it. A couple of housekeeping notes before we get started. There will be time for a Q&A after the discussion tonight. So if you have questions for Becca, please save them till that moment. We are a small enough space that you in the audience will not be mic'd as you ask your questions. So please just ask them loudly, and then Becca or Laura will repeat them into the mic so that our friends on Zoom can be sure to hear the question that was asked. If you need a bathroom, that is upstairs past our cash register and our greeting cards. And most importantly, if you need a copy of the Christmas Orphans Club, those are also upstairs along with copies of Laura's books. So there will be time after the discussion and before the signing line for that to happen. So please, there are plenty. Buy some for your friends. And now for the reason that we're here. Based on how quickly this event sold out, and it was very quickly, I know that you already know and love Becca Freeman. You probably know her from her hit books and lifestyle podcast, Bad on Paper, or you might know her as the co-creator of Rom-Com Pods. You, like me, might just really enjoy her on Instagram, which is kind of a feat. You know, social media can go either way. Or you might just be very intrigued by the growing buzz around her debut novel, The Christmas Orphans Club, out yesterday. I knew that I would adore the book when I read blurbs from other authors that I know and love, like Jennifer Close, who called it witty, warm, heartwarming, and hilarious, and Mary Laura Philpott, who said it has everything you could want in a holiday book treat: sweetness, laughs, and an ensemble cast so lovable, I wish they were real and could be my friends. And I agree. Becca's love letter to New York, friendship, and chosen family is so delightful that it is perfect for any season. Becca is a graduate of Boston College and currently lives in Brooklyn. We are incredibly honored that she was willing to come to DC for this first event for the Christmas Orphans Club. So happy early holidays to all of us. In conversation with Becca tonight is Laura Hankin. Laura is the author of Happy and You Know It, A Special Place for Women, and The Daydreams. Her musical comedy has been featured in publications like the New York Times and the Washington Post, and she's developing projects for film and TV. She lives right here in Washington, D.C., and I always quote her official publisher bio. This is the copy, in the official copy, that notes that she once fell off a treadmill twice in one day. What I like to add to the publisher copy is that she is also our neighbor here on Capitol Hill and a dear, dear friend of East City Bookshop. Laura is always generous with her time. She held her launch for The Daydreams with us. She attends other authors' events. She's willing to be in conversation with other authors, and we are always so grateful. We are extra grateful tonight because she has a newborn at home, and I mean brand new. So that is dedication. We appreciate it so much. Laura and Becca, thank you both so much for being here tonight. Welcome, and over to you.
Oh, what a welcome. Thank you for having me. Thank you for being here. Oh, I think everyone is so excited to be celebrating you.
I'm more excited.
I mean, maybe.
I might cry.
Yeah.
See?
I remember the first time I met you in person, we got a drink together and you were telling me about this book and you were like, you hadn't found an agent yet. I think you hadn't started the agent process yet.
Finish the book.
Yeah, maybe that. And you were like, I don't know if it's going to be ready or if it's going to be good enough. And it is more than good enough. It's such a wonderful book.
It exists.
Yes, a moment of appreciation.
And also a round of applause for Laura, who is such a rock star with her month-old baby who is here tonight.
Look, if I forget how to form words or sentences, it's just because I've only had 3.5 hours of sleep at a time for a month.
I mean, Laura is one of the funniest people I know. So even Laura operating at 50% is like better than most.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Well, I know we wanted to kind of start off and take the temperature of the room with a little either or Christmas.
Yeah. We want to know a little bit about you.
Yeah.
Do you want to kick us off?
I would love to. So we're going to read 2 options. And then I want you all to just make some noise for the one that you prefer. So to start off with, multicolored lights or white lights? Let's hear it for multicolored. And let's hear it for white.
Ooh.
This is a classy bunch.
Ooh. I don't want to make enemies right out of the gate, but like I am a hardcore colored lights person. What are you?
I'm also a colored lights person. But I do appreciate white lights. I do associate them with like being the classier option, but I'm like, is Christmas about class?
Well, we're not classy people.
Yeah.
That's the difference.
Yeah.
Okay, wait. Okay, let's see if we can get on the same page here. Elf or Love Actually? So first for the Elf people. Okay. And the Love Actually people? And now are some of you doing both? What are you, Laura?
I think I'm Love Actually. Ultimately, I know it's problematic. I've read the Lindy West piece, but I still love it. What about you?
I think I'm an Elf person purely for nostalgia. Like it's my one movie that I have to watch on Christmas Day every day. Not every day, every year.
Look, maybe for you it is Christmas every day.
Launch this book and like I'm never going to be able to convince people that I like Christmas a regular amount. Like I'm not a Christmas freak. Like I've already had this conversation with a bunch of people. Like I'm like, no, I like Christmas a normal amount.
Well, I remember Becca very generously did one of my events for the Daydreams with me in New York, and they read her bio when they were introducing her, but they like, for whatever reason, left off the fact that she was the author of this book.
Well, they read my bio that's in the front of my book. So it's understood that this is the book that I wrote.
Right. So it was like, Becca Freeman, here are all of her accomplishments, and she really loves Christmas.
Yeah, it was like she lives in Brooklyn and enthusiastically celebrates Christmas every year. And it's like a room full of people who are there for Laura, not me. And I'm like, I look like such a loser right now.
Yeah. No.
Like I feel like a bunch of your friends afterwards were like, so you like Christmas a lot? Like, a normal amount.
Your thing, huh? Well, speaking of things, this next one, peppermint mocha or pumpkin spice latte. I feel like for a while I really liked pumpkin, and that was kind of my thing before it was like.
Did you write a book about it? Maybe you should.
No, I didn't. All right, but
there's time.
Yeah, that's true. Hopefully I'll have a long career.
I'm getting beat on Amazon right now by something called the Pumpkin Spice Cafe. So like,
really?
Yeah, you can beat that one.
Is that in like the holiday subgenre? Yeah. I love it. Okay, so make some noise for peppermint mocha.
Thank you.
Or pumpkin spice latte.
We'll talk after about who hurt you. All right, here's one that I feel really passionately about. Both classic, really important, seminal Netflix films. The Christmas Prince or the Princess Switch. All right, let's hear it for the Christmas Prince. Tepid. The Princess Switch.
And just to clarify, the Princess Switch is the Vanessa Hudgens one, right?
Yeah, it's the one that every movie they add more Vanessa Hudgens. We're up to 3.
I can't wait for the Princess Switch 8, where she just has to do like every accent.
In my mind, the more Vanessa Hudgens we can put in one movie, the better.
Agreed.
Yes.
All right, Mariah Carey or the NSYNC Christmas album? Mariah Carey's Christmas album. I'm seeing like a lot of
Purists here.
hesitation from some people. And NSYNC. Side note, when does their new single come out? It's like in the next day or two, right?
I don't know.
I love that
Friday, I heard Friday in the crowd.
it's Friday.
Okay.
Yeah. I appreciate that it's for like the Trolls soundtrack. That's what brought them back together after all this time.
All right, Laura, I feel like you have to take the last one because you came up with it. I think it's a stroke of genius, and I don't want to co-opt your creativity.
Thank you, Becca. I really appreciate that.
But I do have thoughts.
Okay. Either or weirdly sexy Christmas Carol a la Santa Baby, or weirdly violent Christmas Carol a la Grandma Got Run Over by a Reindeer. So the sexy, violence. Ooh,
The violence habit. I agree. I like Christmas is not a sexy holiday. Like I think that there are, Valentine's Day is a sexy holiday.
Right.
I could make the argument the 4th of July is a sexy holiday. You're like day
Sure.
drinking, bathing suits.
Oh yeah,
Christmas is not
fireworks.
fireworks. Christmas, not a sexy holiday.
I think that's probably correct. Yeah, Christmas is like a cozy holiday.
Cozy, yeah.
Or a religious holiday.
It is not a sexy holiday.
Yeah.
Take
Fair.
it from me, somebody who likes Christmas too much.
Yeah, we are talking to the expert. So, do you want to tell us what your wonderful book is about and how you came up with the idea for it?
Oh my gosh, I would love to. So this is my book. It's the Christmas Orphans Club. Came out yesterday. It's a book about a group of 4 friends who are each alone on Christmas for a different reason and have built a found family tradition of spending the holiday together in New York City, having these like fun, kind of wild adventures together. And it's told in alternating now and then timeline. So in the past, you get to see the greatest hits of their past Christmases and kind of how this friend group got made. And then in the present, one of them is about to move from New York to LA. And so they're planning what might be their last Christmas together. And they're kind of at that inflection point around 30 when it goes from like your friends being the most important people in your life to all these competing pressures around jobs and relationships and, am I going to move? And they're kind of dealing with growing up without growing apart.
Yeah. I thought you did such a lovely job of, making it this like cozy, delightful, fun book, but also dealing with these issues in a very honest and real way, which so many of us go through.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
I mean, that was my intent. I feel like, okay, so I feel like some of the inspiration behind this was very much you all. In 2020, so I do have a reputation of really liking Christmas movies, and like the worse the better. Like more Vanessa Hudgens. Like, is there a small made up country in this movie? Like, yes, I will watch it.
Mm-hmm.
Do your family's own competing ins? I'm there. And I feel like, with a movie, I'll watch pretty much anything because it's like 90 minutes and I'm on my phone for half of it.
Right.
But they were all like
Are you about to insult
Netflix's Christmas movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. Like, at the same time, like I didn't see my own experience represented anywhere.
Right.
And so many people on Instagram were asking me for recommendations about Christmas books, and I'd read a few, and they're very marriage minded. A lot of them are small towns. You like go home for the holidays, and you like meet the one that got away, and you fall back in love and quit your high powered job and raise Christmas trees.
Right.
And I have a very small biological family. My mother passed away when I was a teenager, and I love everything about Christmas, but like the day of Christmas can be like a little bit of a bummer. And I don't have like a family. I don't have my childhood home to go back to. And I was like, I don't really relate to these people. And so I really wanted to write a Christmas book that did honor some of like the harder things about growing up and about the season, but was still ultimately fun. Like I didn't want it to be a downer that you were just like crying your face off for 300 pages.
Right.
Maybe
like a tear or two at a certain point.
Yeah, like an elegant tear.
Yeah, exactly. You dab it. Your eyes don't get red. Yeah.
Exactly. Like royalty at a funeral tear. One.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I thought you did such a lovely job of showing this experience that, as you said, is like not often represented in these fun movies. And I, as somebody who has also dealt with some of that, I really appreciated that. And also just found family. I always want more found family books.
Yes.
And I was wondering, like, what about that specifically made you want to write about it? And are there other found family books, TV shows, etc., that you drew inspiration from?
Ooh. So, I mean, for me, as somebody who is unmarried and who has a small biological family, like the most important relationships that I have made in my life are with my friends. And I have a very close group of friends from college who a lot of them are coming to New York tomorrow night from out of town to come to my event. And I'm very weepy about it. And you know, those are my people. Like if I were in jail, that's who I would call. If like I was something terrible happened to me, if something great happened to me, like that's who I would call. And I always get so excited when I see a friendship book, but there's so few of them. And I feel like, you know, in rom-coms, the protagonist always has a best friend, but you really see like the moment in time. You don't get to see how friendships like ebb and flow and grow and change over time. And I was really interested in seeing that because in a lot of ways, your friends know the best of you and they also know the worst of you. They know where the bodies are buried.
Yes.
And I think that's such an interesting relationship and I don't see it portrayed that much. And I love when I see books like I can think of older ones like Commencement by J. Courtney Sullivan.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so good. Or like The Interestings by Meg Wolitzer.
Love that
So
book.
good. But I haven't seen many recently that are like contemporary found family novels. Like please tell me if you find any. And then oh, you know, the other one I love is The People We Keep by Allie Larkin. It's so good. You will cry a lot.
Fantastic.
And so I really wanted something that was like found family, but that was ultimately like joyous and happy.
Yeah. Celebrating those relationships.
Yeah,
which
exactly.
go beyond the normal friend. I feel like a normal friendship, if you're really going through something, if you're in jail, etc.,
Yeah.
like they send flowers. not to jail, but you know what I mean.
I do not accept your call from jail, but they're like, here's carnations.
Yeah. Whereas, like, you know, if you're going through something, the found family friends are the ones who like hop on a plane.
Yeah.
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 And I think this book expressed that in like a really lovely way, not to give anything away, but you know, there's like a moment where somebody's talking about this group and saying like, you wouldn't ask me to not spend Christmas with them if they were like my family, but they are
Exactly.
my family.
Yeah.
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 Which is so lovely. But so reading all of their incredibly fun holiday traditions that they're building together made me wonder if you had any favorite or really weird holiday traditions.
Okay, so my favorite holiday tradition is I am an obsessive about going to the Nutcracker.
Oh,
I grew up dancing ballet and going to see the Nutcracker at the New York City Ballet is like just the most special. It's so fantastic. And it like is one of those things that always makes me like pinch myself and be like, I can't believe I'm an adult and I get to see this because little me would be freaking out right now.
yeah.
So that's really special to me in an earnest way. In a less earnest way, my friends and I do a Secret Santa every year that is wildly intense.
Say more, please.
Okay. So last year I got my friend Elizabeth had me and she got me a personalized commemorative Christmas ornament of Nicolas Cage's face. She got me some notebooks and pens because I love stationery and anything like that. And then she wrote me a poem that she performed live. It was a limerick style poem about me.
Yes. Do you have it committed to memory?
I don't have it committed to memory, but I have it written down.
Okay.
I don't know where it is.
Damn.
But I have it. Yeah, we have a very intense Secret Santa that people are not mailing it in for.
I really appreciate that. I feel like
I do
anytime
too.
I've done Secret Santa, it's just been like spend under
Socks.
$25 and here's socks. Yeah, socks, towels. Well, good. I in terms of mine, I feel like we always read 'Twas the Night Before Christmas and the Polar Express when I was growing up on Christmas Eve.
I love bookish Christmas traditions.
It was delightful and it made a lot of sense like when my little brother and I were kids, but then I feel like in part because my mom also passed away when I was in high school, I was like holding on to that. And so I made us keep doing it for like years to the point where at a certain Christmas my brother who was like 20 was like, "Why are we reading the Polar Express?"
I'm gonna butcher this. I don't know what country it is, but like it's like Norway or Iceland or like Greenland, and there's a Christmas Iceland, the Christmas tradition where you get a book the night before Christmas,
Oh,
and then everyone reads.
oh,
Right?
let's all move there. Yeah. Oh my God. Well, I, as a Christmas expert,
As an expert, yeah,
slash obsessive,
the foremost authority in this room, maybe.
yeah, probably. If anybody wants to challenge Becca on that,
Yeah, we can arm
see her
wrestle at the
afterwards.
signing table.
I was wondering, this book is set in New York, and I was wondering what your like ideal New York Christmas itinerary would be. If somebody was coming to visit, what would you say they had to do?
Can I pick things that aren't geographically close to each other?
Yes.
So
Yeah.
we can time travel or like teleport.
Yes.
Okay, great. Okay, so first, this doesn't have to do with Christmas, but it does have to do with the book. I think we're going to go to the Waverly Diner, which is this like great diner in the West Village. And the best thing about it is that they have hash browns instead of home fries, which is a rarity in New York City. Most diners have home fries, which fine.
Yeah. There's
Haven't
no
had a lot of
competition.
like great home fries. So we're gonna go there first. And then I think maybe we're gonna go up to like Bryant Park to the Christmas markets.
Yeah.
Very cute. Not in the book, but like very cute. We're gonna browse, we're gonna buy tchotchkes, Christmas presents, you know. Then I don't know, maybe we'll eat something else in there to line the stomach, but we're gonna go to Rolf's, which is this Christmas themed bar that is the most intense place you have ever seen. Every square inch of ceiling and wall space is lights, Christmas ornaments, and creepy dolls, which is a good extra element.
I love a good creepy doll.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. And so we're gonna go there. You're gonna have to wait in line probably if it's near Christmas, but it's worth it. Try to go early.
How long do the lines get?
Well, I mean, are you going at 10 p.m. on a Friday? Long.
Okay.
We're going at like 3 p.m. on a Tuesday, so it's gonna be fine.
Okay. Yeah.
And then I think we're gonna go up to Lincoln Center. I think we're gonna go to the Nutcracker. We have to.
Yeah. Yeah.
We have to.
Do it for childhood Becca.
Do it for adult Becca.
And adult Becca.
Do it for the arts.
Do it for yourself. Okay. And then, the core 4 characters in this book are all so charming, and they make such a good balance with each other.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. I appreciate that they're all coming to it for different reasons. And so I was curious how you went about developing them and distinguishing them from each other.
So there's 2 point of view characters in the book, Hannah and Finn. And Hannah is a straight woman and Finn is a gay man. And I knew from the very beginning that I wanted to tell a platonic love story about a straight woman and a gay man, because some of my most important friendships have been with gay men. And in novels, you get a lot of times kind of this like stock character of like, yeah, bitch, brunch, like makeover. And none of my gay male friends have ever given me a makeover or are qualified to be honest with you. And so I wanted to portray that relationship of like a really deep, like not, oh, I have a crush on you, but oops, you're gay, or like just we are each other's people.
Yeah.
And so I started there, and then Hannah is kind of, if we were talking grumpy sunshine, she is the grumpy. And so I wanted to give her a friend who was a little bit more positive and upbeat. And so that's how Priya came into this. And she's a roommate who kind of became a great friend. And then Theo, I don't think this is too spoilery to say because it happens in chapter 2. He comes into the group via a one-night stand that he has with Finn. And I really liked the idea of him being just kind of very mysterious and having license on the page to be able to do anything. And so he was like my wild card of like any weird plot idea that I wanted to introduce. He had license to.
I was just gonna say Theo is the wild card.
He's the wild card.
Yeah.
He's the wild card.
But like an incredibly kind and
yes.
Like,
yeah. Has his other merits, but like as a writer gave me a lot of plot leeway.
Yeah. Well, I'm very excited for everyone to fall in love with the whole group. But we should take a pause on me asking you questions about this and play another game.
Like this isn't a regular book event. This is a fun book event.
Yeah.
But I have my back to like this side. I'm just gonna like twist a little over here. So we thought we'd play Fuck, Marry, Kill, and we came up with weird ones.
Yes.
Laura, I have been thinking about this all week.
Me too.
Fuck, Marry, Kill, the Grinch, Santa, Buddy the Elf.
This is Becca came up with this one. I just want to make sure you have the credit.
That's your nightmare brain, not mine.
No, I would be honored to have come up with this, but okay, I think right out of the gate, fuck the Grinch.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, Emily is in the back going like, no, and this guy over here is like, yeah. You thought about what his green peen looks like. You have to have. Is it furry?
I was going more like he obviously has a lot of passion.
Okay.
Like he feels very strongly about
Oh, I'm
things.
into it for pure curiosity.
Fair. Okay, I have a much harder time with like Santa versus Buddy the Elf, just in terms of like if you kill Santa, is Christmas ruined?
Yeah.
But if
it's not good.
but if you marry Santa, then do you have to be Mrs. Claus?
No, it's polyamorous.
Oh, okay. Okay. Then maybe I marry Santa. I don't know. But Buddy would be like so nice. And if he's good enough for Zooey Deschanel, like he's good enough for me. I'm torn. What about you?
I'm killing Buddy the Elf right off the bat.
Wow.
I love the movie Elf, but there is something childlike about him and it feels creepy.
Mm-hmm.
We're not marrying him and we're not fucking him. I don't care what Zooey Deschanel does.
All right. I see it.
I'm fucking the Grinch as established. And I think Santa has big provider energy. He's wealthy.
Yeah.
He owns, is the North Pole a country?
Maybe
A town?
I assume he like lives in a castle up there,
Yeah,
like
like,
a Christmas
He owns
castle.
real estate.
Yeah. I mean, you would be cold all the
Loves
time.
giving
But
presents.
true. Unless it's like a cobbler's children have no shoes type of thing.
No, he has a great reputation. Who's ever said anything bad about Santa? I'm marrying him.
Nobody. Yeah. Okay. Go for it. I'll marry him too, and then we can like
Sister
all
wives.
of us be together.
Santa's
Exactly.
Sister Wives. You would watch that show on TLC. Don't even pretend you wouldn't.
100%. Let's call the networks. The writer's strike is over. So.
Sorry, guys. There's no book 2. Laura and I have to pitch this reality show.
Okay, moving on. Even though I think we could talk about that all night.
It'd be better for me being invited back here or anywhere in public that we don't keep going.
I know this is going on the internet too.
Oh, it is. My editor's on there. I feel like I'm gonna like have a stern text message after this. I also think Olivia, my podcast co-host, is watching, and I know she has thought of the Grinch's penis. Like she has.
Wow, way to call her out.
She has. Is she submitting Zoom comments? Sorry, Olivia, I love you.
You'll have much to discuss on the next podcast.
Well,
Okay. Fuck, Marry, Kill, the Rockettes Christmas Spectacular, the Nutcracker, or Mariah Carey Christmas Concert.
okay. Well established. I'm marrying the Nutcracker. It is my tradition.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna fuck a Mariah Carey Christmas concert. Guys, I went to one last December. She was an hour and a half late. She was having her hair and makeup done on stage while singing. And sadly for all of us, she can't hit the high notes anymore. So every time she went to like sing a high note, she just turned around to the back.
Oh.
And I think it was like for a Netflix special. And so I think that they then like in post got somebody else to sing those high
Oh
notes.
my god.
It was so chaotic. Like, I don't think she would do much in bed. I think she's more just laying there looking good. But I want to know.
That's fun. Yeah.
And I've never seen the Rockettes Christmas Spectacular. I feel like that might be the more obvious fuck, but I'm gonna kill that.
I actually completely agree with your assessment.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
The Venn diagram is strong.
I know.
All right, let's see how we feel about this one. Fuck, marry, kill, ice skating, sledding, sitting motionless in front of a fire.
I'm gonna marry sitting motionless in front of a fire.
Aren't we all?
Obviously.
Of course we are.
I'm going to fuck sledding because I want to do it like once a year. And kill ice skating because I will be injured immediately and I'm gonna take it out before it takes me out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm gonna marry sitting motionless in front of a fire, obviously. I aspire to afford a fireplace. With my book money.
Yeah.
Please buy my book so I can one day have a fireplace. New York real estate's expensive. I'm gonna fuck ice skating. I love ice skating. I have not been ice skating in like 20 years because nobody I know will go ice skating with me.
Oh.
So I think I would break my neck, but
Might be worth it.
it would be nostalgic.
Yeah. Look, I love the idea of ice skating. I
Yeah.
just know that every time I do it, I like get on the ice and I walk like that and I hold onto the railing for dear life.
Good.
Yeah. Well, you said you did ballet too, right?
I did, yeah.
Oh,
I'm
my
really
God.
good.
I just assume that if
Like,
you're good at one physical thing and you're
Oh
good
no,
at
I just meant
all.
that I could ice skate backwards. I couldn't like do spins.
But backwards is huge.
Oh, okay. Then yeah, I'm great.
Wow. I didn't know you had this talent as well as your writing talent.
I'm a lady of many talents.
Yes. And speaking of your writing talent,
What a transition.
thank you. Thank you. I didn't even plan it. So you have shared a lot about the journey of writing this book and publishing this book on your social media and podcast. And I know a lot of people have found it very inspiring, myself included. And I was wondering if you could just tell us a little bit about writing and selling the book and, maybe your favorite or most frustrating moments throughout the process.
We have a whole podcast episode about this if you haven't listened. Hopefully if you're like a friend of who came and your friend dragged you here. Who are the friends of? Who am I targeting here? Lindsay back there. Lindsay's like, I don't know you. I'm Jane's friend. Okay. So like if you go listen to my podcast Bad on Paper, we have an episode called How My Book Got Made that like walks through the whole process. So I don't want to be too repetitive because I'm sure some people have listened to it. But I would say, like, not to be too cheesy, the high is this week. Yesterday was the best day of my life. I heard from so many of you. So many people shared on Instagram stories, getting their pre-orders. So many people started the book and told me about it. Some people stayed up late to finish the book on launch day. Like, I am a puddle. I am like, it is the coolest thing, especially having been a lifelong reader, that people are now consuming something that I made up in my nightmare brain and they can read it. And oh my gosh, it's the coolest. Was the hardest part the other?
Yeah, like most frustrating.
Most frustrating. I would say it was really, really hard to finish the first draft. I feel like most writers are either first draft people or editing people, and I'm an editing person. I find it really frustrating to like just have to vomit crap onto the page and be like, this is all really bad. Why am I so bad at this?
Yeah. Kill the first draft, fuck editing, marry publication week.
Yeah. And then the other thing that's really hard that I understand now more than I did beforehand is the waiting.
Yeah.
I am not a patient person by nature. And like, I had a lightning fast process in that I sold my book a year ago and now it is out. But like a lot of people, it's like 2 or even 3 years between when they sell their book and it coming out. I'm like, this is the internet age. Tell me what you think of it now.
I know. Yeah. It's like, how do you live your life in the
like they're just like in limbo. It's so hard.
It really is. Yeah. And then you're also like, oh my God, what if the book is irrelevant by the time it comes out? What if Christmas is canceled in the meantime?
Like Laura kills Santa and now it's over?
Yeah. It's very possible.
Oh man.
All right. I think we have time for one more question from me before we open it up to Q&A.
Emily is giving the thumbs up that that's right.
Oh, good. So I was going to say that now that you've gone through the publication process, has it changed the way that you think about the books that you read?
It definitely has. It's like turned on a part of my brain where I'm always reading, kind of being like, oh, how did they do that? Or like, what do I think about this? But I will say that it has made me appreciate a book that turns my brain off so much more. Like I read, has everyone here read Fourth Wing?
I just yes.
Yes. So I read Fourth Wing. I was on vacation in London. I revenge bedtime myself so bad. I was up until 4 a.m. just like gotta fit it, like what's going on with the dragons. And like something like that where you don't even think about anything else because you're just so obsessed with the book is like, it makes me appreciate that experience so much more.
Yeah, you're like, you did magic. Like
You did magic. You turned off my brain.
Yeah. I mean, I think your book in a way did that to me. Like I will say I was like
I did not pay Laura to be here or to say that, but it is on the internet now, so you cannot take it.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, I was up at like 3 a.m. obviously, like feeding my baby, and I was like, I was excited to be reading your book
What a compliment.
at the time. Yeah. Anyways, on that note, shall we turn it over to audience questions? Try to live up to that compliment, everybody. Anybody?
We can keep going.
Yeah, I have another question. I have one more question for you. Yes.
I don't think you've answered this in the podcast, but if it were to become a movie, who would you want to play in it?
I'm not going to tell you. I don't know if this is silly or not, but I have like a really hard line that I don't want to talk about this because I feel like, first of all, sometimes when other authors tell me who they picture as their cast, it's like somebody that I have a weird ick about and it just ruins the book for me. And then also I feel like if it ever were to turn into a movie, I wouldn't want people to be disappointed because I'm going to tell you like some big name actor and then we're going to get like Bob Smith. Who's great. Bob Smith is so good. I don't know who he is. But yeah, I don't want to disappoint anyone, but what I'm going to do, because everyone wants to know this and I know why you would ask that. It's a totally reasonable question, is like, I feel like in November or December, like once it's been out for a while, I'll like put on my Instagram story who everyone else thinks and we can crowdsource it and then we can see options, but we're not going to be like, this is who it is. Is that weird?
No,
Okay.
Yeah, I feel like I read that on your Instagram story at one point and it's like lodged itself in my brain because I am an author who absolutely, when I get that question, is like, well, this person and this person and this person. But now I'm a little more hesitant to do that because I think it makes a lot of sense.
Well, I mean, like Ryan Gosling's not available. Not he wouldn't be anyone in this book, but you know, it's just like I can only think of like the big names, and then you're like, I don't want to set anyone up for disappointment.
Yeah. Sure.
so we know your book is also kind of Christmas themed. Do you feel like do you want to do things outside of the Christmas realm? Obviously, your book much larger than just kind of like the rom-com Christmas. Obviously, we love getting inspired by all the questions that we said from the podcast.
We should repeat the question.
Oh
for
yeah.
the-
No,
Oh,
that's fine.
Is Becca interested in writing outside of the Christmas realm? Is that a good summation? Okay.
It might surprise you as the foremost expert on Christmas, but I do have other interests and I do aspire to write outside of the Christmas realm. I want my second book to be like a pivot book where there's enough Christmas that if that's why you really liked this book, there's a little bit, but I want it to go beyond that. And then after that, never write a Christmas book again, or maybe not never, but like just not for a while. Because I feel like Christmas books have a bad rep and it kind of almost feels like the same taboo that maybe was around romance a while ago, where it's like, oh, that's so embarrassing. And so I feel like I've even seen a lot of people be like, oh, like I've never read a Christmas book. And I'm like, but read mine. So I am interested in like moving outside that, not because I'm embarrassed, but just because I'm a woman of many talents and I have other interests outside of Christmas. I would like to take my Christmas tree down at some point. That's been up since July. Oh,
Do you plan to implant characters from this book or places in your second book?
So right now there's one cameo from somebody. It's not like a interconnected world like the Jasmine Guillory books where it's like one friend and then the next friend and then the next friend, which I love. But there is a cameo right now from like one character. And I think maybe you'll see like other people pop up. It's like, you know, when Ellen Hildebrand has like the police chief that she needs and it's always the same police chief. Like I could see that. Oh yeah. Yeah.
So since we're in a bookstore, and if you, let's say you were a bookseller this Christmas season,
Yeah.
what book would you be most excited to sell to people?
A Christmas book.
Any book that's coming out. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So any book that's coming out, I just read this book on Sunday, and this is such a compliment to this book because my attention span is awful right now. I've not been able to read anything. And I read this book. It comes out December 5th. It's called Meet the Benedettos. And it is Keeping Up with the Kardashians meets Pride and Prejudice. So it's about like a washed up reality TV show family. The show is off the air. And then like a celebrity and his best friend, who's like a Juilliard trained theater actor, move into the crumbling Calabasas gated community. And oh my God, it is so laugh out loud funny and was so surprising. It's by Katie Katungo. That would be my recommendation.
Are you planning on doing anything special and Christmas themed to celebrate your book being out in the world?
Oh,
Are you planning on doing anything special on Christmas theme to celebrate your book being out in the world?
there have been talks of a trip to Toronto to go to Christmas markets there.
Ooh.
I don't know if it's going to happen because I'm not going to be the one to plan it because I feel like my brain is melting out of my ear this month. So that's a maybe. I feel like I already have my Christmas tree up, so maybe I'll just throw a Christmas party. I threw a Christmas in July party and it was so much fun. And I now own all these Christmas decorations. So like maybe I'm just going to throw a Christmas party.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do we have a Zoom question?
Olivia asked, what Taylor Swift songs do you associate with this book or with any of the characters?
Oh, okay. I have two. Do you need me to repeat it or because you're close? Okay, it was which Taylor Swift song do you most associate with this book or any of the characters? So I think Hannah, her song would be This Is Me Trying. I think she's trying really hard to make everything work and to like keep the plate spinning, and maybe is like Laura's Christmas Polar Express tradition is holding on a little hard.
Yeah.
And then overall, I would say a platonic interpretation of New Year's Day would be like the theme of this book.
Oh, that's really nice.
I've been waiting for somebody to ask me this. I've like had it locked and loaded. Sounds like a weird thing to just announce without being asked.
So, I was listening actually to your Spotify playlist on the way here.
Thank you.
But it also got me thinking, you've mentioned a lot of places in the book. If you had to do like not like a Christmas crawl of New York City, but like a book highlight crawl, right? Like, which places would you recommend go visit or go to from the book?
So I would say like many of my Manhattan favorite places made it into this book. I last night was walking to dinner and I was walking around the West Village and I walked by a lot of places and it was really fun to be able to take photos and share that now that other people know and it's not just in my brain. So what are some of my favorite places that are in this? The Waverly Diner for sure. There's a Christmas scene at the Polo Bar, which is one of my favorite like fancy special places. Where else do they go? I listened to my audiobook today and I'm blanking, but I promised to share this on Instagram and or a map. Yeah, it's a very good question. My brain is just on the floor.
So I know that you're for this
Yeah.
kind of a creative, I can also market it and be creative. Have you always thought of yourself as a creative person, or is this kind of a newfound thing for you?
Have you always thought of yourself as a creative person, or is this newfound?
No, I never thought of myself as a creative person. So when I grew up, I really liked art and dance and like a lot of creative things. And then I feel like middle school, high school, you kind of start, if you're not good enough at them to be professional at them, you start getting discouraged from doing these things. And I was really good at math. And for some reason, I do not know how, I internalized that if you were good at math, you couldn't also be creative. And I just kind of like let all of those things go. And I worked in consulting, like management consulting, boring consulting as my first job out of college. Sorry to any consultants. um, and then I switched into marketing, but it was very much like analytical and like advertising and things like that. And I didn't consider myself a creative person until, well, first I read Big Magic by Elizabeth Gilbert, which is one of my all-time favorite books. I reread it every January. And in that, she has a lot that like everyone is creative. And that really kind of like broke my brain open, but then I didn't do anything. And then I'd started freelancing. I left my full-time job and I was freelance consulting marketing. And I really felt like a mercenary. I like felt like very unsatisfied. And I have this friend, Rachel, who for as long as I've known her, we lived on opposite coasts. And so we've spent a lot of time crashing in each other's apartments when we're in each other's cities. And like with that, watching a lot of rom-coms and drinking a lot of wine. And every time we watch like one of these Netflix rom-coms, she's always like, we should write a rom-com. We could write a better rom-com. And my answer was always like, bitch, with what time? Like we both had full-time jobs. Like I was like, sure, it didn't make sense. And in 2019, I was in LA, I was complaining to her that I didn't feel creatively fulfilled. And she said, what if we wrote a rom-com? And this time she said, what if we wrote it as a podcast? And that was kind of the origin of rom-com pods, which then became like a weird pandemic hobby that like spun out of control. And it was kind of like my weird creative lab. And it was like a crash course of how to tell a story. And I loved doing it so much. And I was like, oh my God, like I am a creative person. And I think that doing it a couple of times too, because I don't think I would have been able to finish a first draft if I hadn't like done a couple of smaller projects first, like gave me the confidence or like drive to be able to push through. And so no, I never considered myself a creative person until well into my 30s. So if you think you're not creative, maybe you are, or maybe you're not, and that's okay too. The question was, which character's voice was easier for you to write? Finn's voice, so there's two POV characters, and Finn, the man's voice, was easier for me to write. Throughout the process, I feel like Everett was like, Hannah's kind of awful. Can we make Hannah a little more likable? And I was like, I feel like she's so real. And it's been really gratifying. I mean, we did make her slightly more likable, but I did not like totally change her. Like the DNA of the character is still the same. And it's been really gratifying to see people who've read the book like her and identify with her, because I wanted to write a character who really was messy in a way that wasn't like, oh my God, she's a romance heroine, but like her hair is curly.
But always like the perfect kind of curly,
right?
Too.
Right. Ooh, okay. What drink would I pair to read with this? So if it's daytime, a iced coffee, because I only drink iced coffee with peppermint mocha coffee mate creamer. And if it's evening, I would say champagne, which is Theo's drink of choice, which appears many times in the book.
I think we've got time for one more question.
Oh, over here.
Are there any other questions you have like are ready to answer that no one has asked yet?
Oh,
Like the Taylor Swift.
Oh, there is a question that I want to ask to Laura, and it's can you tell us what you're working on? Is that a cheat?
I mean, I'll take it.
Okay. Tell me about your book, because I've heard about it offline and it sounds incredible.
Yeah. So my next book, which is coming out in June of 2024, it's 2023 right now, right? Yeah.
What is time?
I don't know anymore. It is loosely based off of the fact that I had to walk down the aisle at my friend's wedding with a guy who'd given my book 1 star on Goodreads. So it's
Did he just give it a star? Did he give a review?
Just a star.
Okay.
Yeah. And I think he like knew that I knew, but I didn't really like say anything until we were on the dance floor later. I was like a little drunk. I was like, what would you rate my maid of honor speech? Anyway, so it's a love story, but
so obviously it's a love story.
Obviously. And it takes place over the course of 10 years as, this maid of honor and best man are forced into each other's lives, like checking in with them each time they have to attend a new event for their best friends who are like hitting all the life check marks.
It sounds incredible. Is there
Yeah.
a title yet?
1-star romance.
Can people pre-order it here on their way out?
I'm not sure. It is available online for pre-order
Emily doesn't know.
as of like a couple of
find
days
out.
ago. Yeah, I haven't like announced it yet because we don't have a cover yet,
Well,
but like
we're
it
here.
is online.
While we're
So yeah.
In a bookstore.
Thank you for shouting that out.
Oh my gosh,
Becca.
of
That's very
course.
kind of you.
It is available for pre-order. So see a bookseller to pre-order Laura's 1-star romance.
Yeah. I hope
A
you rate it
5-star,
higher.
1-star romance.
Oh no, that's okay. I'll fix it. I could listen to them talk all night, as I know that you all could too. So thankfully we've got podcast episodes to keep the conversation going. Thank you all for being here. Most importantly, thank you to Laura and to Becca. Okay, so our housekeeping at the end is that we are going to let Laura and Becca back over here into our office/green room, and we will line up for the signing line. If the people in this section particularly are willing to help us fold up your chairs and stick them to the side, stick them on this side. That would be a great help. And we will have staff to help with that, of course. And then we're going to have you all line up here along this romance wall. But give us a minute to get them back there. We'll get everything in order and then we'll get to signing. We are not going to do standing posed photos with Becca. I will be by the signing table and I'm happy to take a quick snap as you're getting your book signed, like just a candid, if you'd like to hand me your phone. And because it is late and we want to be respectful of everybody's time, don't be offended if I'm like, thank you so much for coming. Let's keep it moving. Okay. That's all me keeping the line moving so everybody can get their book signed. So thank you all for being here. Thank you for helping us get ready for the signing portion. And again, thank you to Laura and to Becca.